Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a one brand look featuring this look right here using all Sephora brand products. A couple videos back I featured this little airbrush foundation and I said in that video that I kind of wanted to do a side-by-side, I feel like I have a hiccup coming or a burp. Can't make up its mind. Either doing this on one side and then the Christian Dior Air Flash, or doing a whole like Sephora in-house brand tutorial on out the like Napoleon Dynamite moves over here. A lot of you guys seemed interested in that, so that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell emoji if you guys want to keep up to date with all of my future uploads. Also, if you guys end up enjoying this video, which I hope you do, be sure to leave the next brand you guys would like to see featured in a one brand look. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm still in my pajamas and my hair. I don't even have an excuse. So I have my bag full of Sephora products here. I think the only thing that I couldn't get my hands on was a translucent powder. Unfortunately, they were sold out. And then the eyebrow pencil in my shade, but I already have an opinion on that. In fact, that used to be my holy grail brow pencil. I think it's called the Micro Brow Pencil. It's $12. The only shades they had left was like Honey Blonde and then like Midnight Black or Midnight Charcoal, which was way too light or way too dark. I think you get the exact same amount as you get in the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which is like 0.003 ounces. So $12 versus $21. I really love the Sephora one. The only thing is, it doesn't come with a traditional spoolie. It has this really weird plastic comb instead. This is just the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Brunette. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't that impressed, at least like based on swatches of the Sephora brand eyeshadows. I swatched both the singles and the little palettes, which is what I ended up going with. And I don't know, like, they were kind of hit or miss. It's like some shades in the palette would be really creamy and then others would just feel kind of dry and chalky, but who knows? They may apply like amazing and just not swatch that well. So I went with this one. This is just the Eye Contouring Colorful 5. They're $25. I think this is like the priciest product that I got in this haul. Looks just like this. Actually, no, it might be the highlighting palette. So you have 5 shades in here, but I went with this one because there were 2 matte options. A lot of the other palettes only had 1 matte. But now when I'm looking at this, there's not even a brow bone shade. So I might just have to go in with a powder for that. But this had 2 matte options and then this really pretty shimmery color. And then you also get this little dual-ended applicator. It looks like you have a sponge tip and then kind of an angled brush. I think I had a mini of not this shade, but this product in the past. This is just the, what are you, Colorful Shadow and Liner. I got mine in the shade Beige Glitter number 20, and these are waterproof. This guy was $14 and then the palette was $25. Okay, so now as I mentioned, I didn't grab a brow bone color. We'll just go without. But I did apply a little bit of concealer earlier just to clean up under my brows, so I guess we'll just use that as my brow bone shade. But I haven't really been using eye primers lately anyway, so I'm just gonna go in without a primer. And I'm going to start off with this very first shade here using the Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush. I didn't pick up any of the Sephora brushes just because I do have a lot of brushes right now, but I do want to try some of their brushes because I've heard great things. They're super soft, especially their foundation and powder brushes. They feel really good. Ooh, this is actually really nice. It's kind of, I probably should have gone in with a little bit less product in the beginning because this part right here is being a bit stubborn about wanting to blend now, but that color payoff is really nice. This is the Sigma, this is my oldest one. I think it's an E40, E60, whatever the big blending brush is. But the bristles on this one are a bit more coarse, so I think I might help blend it a bit more. There we go. Look at you, little ducky. Now I want to go in with this shade here, but instead of just laying it down on its own, I want to use this as a base. So this is that eyeshadow crayon in the shade Beige Glitter. I'm super, super creamy. I do have, I think, an olive shade in this, and as long as you let it set, it kind of stays in place without creasing, but I do want to use this as a tacky base just because I think that'll help this shadow pop more. So first I'm just going to use my finger and yeah, press this on. Just to really get that shimmer to come through. You could always go in with like a damp brush as well, but I thought that base went perfectly with this shadow. Now I'm going to go back into the palette and use this deeper shade here and apply this right on the outer corner. This is the Sigma E32, the exact blend. I just wanted something a little bit more dense to really pack the color on this outer corner. Okay, so final thoughts on the shadows. Are they bad? No, not at all. Are they my favorite? No, not so much. I definitely have other shadows in my collection that I prefer. But for this price point, $25 for 5 shadows, but 5 small shadows. Makeup Geek singles are what, $5 or $6 each, but then you do have to pay shipping. This shimmer shade here is really pretty on the eyes, however, it is messy. I noticed once I started going in to blend out, if any of the bristles caught onto this portion here, I now have tiny flecks of glitter, like micro shimmer all over my eyes. So everything that I wanted to keep matte, even though I went in with a small brush, still kind of flicked everywhere, but that could be just me having hooded eyes too, like having to work with a smaller space. However, this guy I really do like. I think this would work great on the waterline as well, which I think I'm gonna try. I know there's glitter in it, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I don't have a primer. There was an illuminating primer and a smoothing primer. I don't know, I just wasn't that interested in those, especially when using this, because even when I use my Dior Air Flash, I'll just go in with a really good moisturizer and kind of skip on the primer. So this is the Sephora Perfection Mist Airbrush Foundation. I have mine in the shade medium. I think in my Sephora haul video, I said there was only 5 or 6 shades. That's just in store though. I think online there's like up to 10 shades, maybe 12. I believe this is $22 or $28. I don't know why every single time I use this, I get like so nervous. Okay. I can, oh, okay. So it just feels really thin and lightweight on the face. If you're familiar of the texture of the Dior Air Flash, it feels a lot like that. I swore this had more coverage. Okay, I want to try going in and just spraying the actual sponge like that. And then, yeah, I think I like that method more because that's how I apply the Dior Air Flash, as well as going right onto the sponge. The sponge that I'm using is the L'Oreal one. I really do like this. I've been using this more than my beauty blender, but the only thing is, because of this shape, I don't know if I just have like a monster grip on it or if it's this shape. I think it's this shape because the rip is like right in there. Whenever I go in to wash it, it ripped after maybe about like 8 uses. I think whether you have dry or oily skin, this would work nicely because it's not like a matte or dewy foundation. It's just kind of like a very natural finish. And what's nice is that you really don't have to go in and set it with powder. I mean, you can if you're super oily or even if you're dry and you just like setting everything. This does work nice with powder on top too, especially if you're wanting a little bit of extra coverage. So I'm gonna start off with this one layer. Here, I want a little bit more coverage, so I'm gonna go in with a second layer, doing the same thing, just spraying the sponge, and then just really kind of concentrating on the areas that I want that additional coverage. And some fallout on my under eyes that I probably should have wiped off with a makeup wipe first, but we'll make it work. This is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. This has probably been out for maybe a little over a year. I feel like it came out around the same time, maybe more than that actually, around the same time as the Bare Minerals, what is it, Serum Concealer, which I love. I got mine in the shade at number 3 Fondant. This had a really good shade range. In store, I want to say there was maybe like up to 15 shades, maybe even more, and normally online there's even more options to choose from. Ooh, this feels really nice though. The color is pretty light, but I like having a brightening concealer on my under eyes. We'll see how this blends in. I could have probably gone in with one shade deeper, but in store this looked like it would be okay. But number 4 had a lot of pink in it, so that one I was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. This feels so nice on the skin, and that brightened up a ton. I'm excited about this concealer. Let's go ahead and even things up going on this side. I like the shape of this doe foot too. It's like long, but it has this really nice slant to it, so you can get right up under. Overall, that concealer and foundation work perfectly together. I do think I could have gone, like I said, one shade deeper with the concealer, but overall, like the way my face feels, like whenever I move it around, sometimes whenever you go in with a second layer of foundation, depending on the formula, like when you move your mouth, it feels like everything's just gonna kind of like crack and separate. This just feels like I have no makeup on my face, so I love that. Curious to see though if this airbrush foundation lasts as long as the Dior Air Flash, because I think that's one thing a lot of people love about that foundation. Pretty much like stays on your face locked and loaded all day long. So I'm gonna kind of test out the wear time on this and check back in with you guys maybe in another video and let you know. But for today, it's just mainly just kind of like a tutorial look, first impressions on these products. But yeah, I really like that. And it doesn't feel tacky at all. It kind of just like set into place. So did the concealer. I mean, I usually always go in and set my concealer, but like I said, they were out of the translucent powder in store. So I'm just gonna kind of hope that it stays in place and we'll see. This is the Sephora Colorful Contour Long Lasting Los Cabos number 24. Now, if you guys watched my recent Sephora haul, then you would have heard me say that I did get this in the sale section. I think it was marked down to like 7 something. I don't know if that was just because they've changed. Is this the packaging they've changed or not? I think I saw the same shade Los Cabos like in a bigger bronzer disc, but in that video I had said that I ordered this thinking that the shade was going to be kind of similar to Benefit's Hoola. Even on camera I feel like it's picking up darker than what it is in person, because in person this looks so light. I haven't worn this on my face yet. I've swatched it. This is the Japanesque. I don't know what the exact name of this is. As always, I'll have all the products listed down below, but it kind of looks like it's trying to be like a dupe of the NARS Ita brush. So I'm just going to dip some powder into here and, oh, no, see, we're getting color, okay. Because when I swatched this, it basically looked invisible on my skin. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be. Do some on my forehead. Not too shabby. I think I grabbed, yeah, I did. I grabbed Benefit Hoola just so you guys could kind of see them side by side. So Benefit Hoola definitely looks a lot warmer. Yeah, online this just was displayed way darker than what I thought it was going to be, but maybe that's a good thing because it's definitely more of like a natural contour, nothing like super dramatic, but something just to add some more warmth and color back into your face. I've had these in my collection for I don't know how long. I raved about this particular blush for like ever once I got it. This is just the cream blush in the shade Coral Rose, Coral Flush number 2. So I believe these, they changed the packaging, but before you just like squeezed it and it popped open, and it's just this gorgeous cream blush. It kind of is like a better version of NARS Orgasm in my opinion, especially in the summer. Like look at the glow this blush gives off. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to buff this into my cheeks, and it just gives this really pretty like peachy glow from within look, like you're just naturally blushing. But the golden shift in this is so pretty, especially if you have a tan going on in the summer. I love this blush. I also recently purchased this guy. This is the Sephora Luminizing Palette. I'm just going in with a Japanesque highlighting brush and just kind of going ham in all of these. Just going to concentrate that guy right up on the tops, and then I'm going to go in with some of this kind of pearly white and then that champagne color again, and dust some of that on my nose. Look at that. That just like basically makes your cheeks look wet. It is so pretty. Okay, and then going back into the palette, I think I want to smoke out my lower lash line. Pencil brush and just sit here and smudge. I'm actually going to grab that contour powder again and use this to kind of blend that out and see how that works, just because this color was really pretty. Okay, yeah, that's softening up that brown a bit. Okay, so as you can see, I did go ahead and pop on some lashes. Whenever I was in my local Sephora, the only Sephora brand lashes they had left were like huge like fan lashes that basically look like a black bar going all the way across. Those wouldn't fit, especially on my like little BB eyes that would basically be looking for like a rabbit turd under a haystack. It just wouldn't have worked on my face. So I just went with my tried and true. These are the Ardell Studio Effects Demi Wispies. So they're just like the Demi Wispies, but there's a couple little additional pieces on the outer corner. I know somebody's gonna be like, this was supposed to be a full face Sephora lip liner. I just have one of these nano lip liners in the shade Pleasant Plum. I'm pretty sure they still sell this in the full size. I don't know if they always have the minis out or not. I got this a while ago though, but I really like the formula of these lip liners. I'm just going to lightly line and fill my lips. That's because I do like the color of the gloss that I got, but I feel like it'll be even better with just a little bit of a base, because my lips are so like unpigmented. You know, some people have like naturally really cute like pinky pouty lips. Mine are pretty much like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I was swatching these gel glosses in store, and this one just like caught my eye right away. It's called Earth and Fire number 35, and I like that the color swatch is on the top as well. Now I can't figure out if these are like super like bakery scents or just like a subtle sweet vanilla smell, but I like it. It's not something that gives me like a headache. The applicator is kind of one of those like hourglass doe foot applicators. This color is actually really pretty on its own too. I was pretty impressed with the opacity considering that it's just a gloss, but this color glossy is really pretty. So yeah, this is one of those glosses that I feel like should just live in your purse. It's like the perfect everyday color. Feels really good on the lips, isn't sticky at all. It's kind of one of those like pillowy feeling glosses. I really like it. So a quick kind of rundown of all the products and final feelings. I think I pretty much liked everything except for one product, and it's not that I even disliked this, but compared to everything else, this is something that I think I would skip on. I hate sounding like bratty, but in my opinion, for $25 for 5 shadows, you could go out and get like 5 ColourPop shadows. Those are $5, right? Or are they 6? I feel like they're 5. I could be wrong, but you could get something like that, Makeup Geek shadows. This being $25, if you were to save maybe even $20 more, you could go with like the, what is it called? Kat Von D Shade and Light palette or some other palette. I forget how much the Urban Decay palettes are these days, maybe 50. So if you could save like $25 more, I just feel like that is a way better value than this. Now for top favorites in this video, I have to say this concealer, I am loving this. The fact that it's not like creasing and I didn't even have to set it, it works great with the, where did you go, foundation? Oh, right here. It goes great with this Sephora foundation. Both of these feel completely weightless on my face. So if you're someone who like texture or any sort of like weight or thickness on your face, this combination is amazing. I do think the highlighting palette is a great value as well. So overall, I really was happy with everything except for that eyeshadow. Maybe if that was like $10, I would be like, oh no, that's really good. But I don't know, I just didn't think that this lived up to the price point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I mentioned in the intro, let me know what other kind of one brand looks you guys would like to see. Well, not one brand looks, but like what brands you guys would like me to use in these one brand looks. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.